Bienvenidos trainers a el mundo de Pokemon. Translation: welcome trainers to the wonderful world of Pokemon. We are back once again to Naranja Academy. I hope you're ready for this new session of the Channel Fishers podcast. I am of course your host Jay, and joining me as always are my two friends Brian and Tony. How are you doing tonight, fellas?
I'm excited to talk about a purely Paldean adventure in Pokemon Heart Season 2 Part 2.
Yeah.
Donde está la biblioteca?
I mean,
It's one of the few things I remember, but I'm excited to. Hey, people.
Pretty sure the library. I would say pretty sure the library is on the first floor.
yeah, no, it's actually the entirety of both floors.
Oh yeah, technically the entire academy is a library. What do you think about it?
Yeah, Mesagosa, front of building is essentially the biggest library for its size.
Also,
So hey, it's not just a dumb joke. It actually is relevant.
Also, just a side note, when playing Scarlet and Violet, it made me realize, I don't want to be a history teacher in the real world, but I would totally love to be a history teacher in the Pokemon world. I would totally embrace my love of being an amateur historian here and be a full-on historian in the Pokemon world. It's so just fascinating.
Fun, absolutely. We'll get more into that, but this second part of season 2 really exemplifies the little characterizations of each of the characters, from the teachers of the academy to just some, not all, but some of the gym leaders of the Paldea region.
It's much more lore heavy, and I definitely want to also talk. We're also definitely going to talk about how, at least what I have in my notes is we're going to definitely discuss how I believe that this season, honestly, above all previous Pokemon seasons, has done a really good job of adapting the game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with the exception of missing a few, a couple gym leaders here, and the tease of some things here to come that is an option for our girl Liko, but she has her own goal and ambition. They all do. And with this particular part, we're seeing the evolution of our main three characters really starting to shine.
Oh yeah, and we'll definitely get to it. And since this isn't this is obviously since this is more focused on the core trio at school, we don't really have to touch on the rising Volt Tacklers as much as we did in the first part or in our previous Horizons episodes.
They aren't even in it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, no, Freed shows up, and we see Murdoch and the rest of the crew make cameos. They're in it.
The important
their presence is missed.
Yeah, we may like the adult characters, but for this part of season 2 is mainly focusing on the development of Liko, Roy, and Dot. The continued evolution of these characters are focused on main characters.
Yep. And we'll talk about that more in depth when we get started with the main discussion. But of course, this would not be a Channel Fishers episode without first kicking it to Brian and jumping right into the news. Take it away, Brian.
All right, so we're gonna be a little short and sweet here. Nothing.
Sabrina Carpenter album.
Yeah. We're gonna actually, it's been a slow week, but a new indie film was announced, and I think it's pretty cool, and wanted to give it a highlight. Especially because it stars someone that we like, that we talk about thinks gets a little too much shit in Hollywood.
Rachel Zegler. Let's go.
Yep.
More Rachel Zegler.
Yep. This film stars Rachel Zegler. It is called She Gets It From Me. It's gonna be helmed by director Julia von Heinz, who is a German director who I don't believe has done too much English stuff. Only one film recently that had I think Lena Dunham and Stephen Fry. But she did get nominated for Best International Film at one point.
Ooh.
So yeah. But anyway, the film itself is going to be a dramedy based on a true story. Zegler stars as Nikki, whose engagement celebration turns into a search for her pill-popping ex-punk rocker birth mother, Charlotte. Together, the two embark on an archaic mother-daughter journey to reconnect. The official logline reads, YouTube is packed with tearful family reunions, but nobody films the messy afterwards.
Ooh. That's interesting.
And
also,
and
side
it is
note,
all
while we're
made
talking
better-
about Rachel Zegler real quick, go watch our Y2K episode. It's a great movie.
Yes.
Y'all need to watch it.
yes.
I
Watch the
mean-
movie and watch our episode. But
Absolutely. And for Zegler herself, she may say some dumb things, but don't hold it completely against her.
Yeah,
She is a
yeah.
true talent.
I'm telling you, she's a once in a generation, man. I think once this shit blows over, her talent will speak for itself. As long as she doesn't run into like Jonathan Majors level hot water, I think she'll be fine.
Yeah, it is probably a Disney thing that what happened to Snow White personally.
Yeah.
From what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I honestly
yeah.
think the failure falls on Disney and more on Zegler, but Zegler was trying to be like a company woman and try to defend the project she was a part of.
anyway, back to this movie. Gents, you won't believe who's playing the pill-popping ex-rocker mother.
Is
Oh, God.
it the mom from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
Nope.
Oh.
It is Marissa Tomei.
Oh shit! Aunt Bay. They got Aunt Bay. I'm
Yeah.
Say
Rachel
less.
Zegler and Aunt Bay. Let's go.
In what looks to be like a Gilmore Girls with a little bit more grit.
I was gonna say
type
this
story.
this feels like a Gilmore Girls Euphoria fusion dance, and I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, indeed. Which is why I had to give this indie film a little spotlight.
Oh, I gotta see if that does a theater run. I gotta go see that.
But that's it for news.
All right. Well, now we're gonna go ahead and jump into the next segment of the podcast, which is of course Screen Time. Screen Time is a segment of the podcast where the guys and I each go over pieces of media that we have consumed in between podcast episodes that we would like to highlight. That could range from anything from video games, TV shows, YouTube videos, music, movies and TV shows we don't have time to cover or may cover later, stuff like that. I'll go ahead and start.
Actually, Jay,
Sure.
can we do a bit of a shakeup? Because it's been on my mind for a while. So I just want to get my stuff out of the way.
Okay, sure, Tony, go ahead.
I can actually really, because I went down a YouTube rabbit hole that has amused me so greatly. I keep dying of laughter no matter how many times I see it from different angles.
All right.
So I went down a big VTuber reaction binge because coming from last week's episode from our recording schedule anyway, Jay mentioned some big VTuber drama, which
I
was
was-
such good tea.
I was
Bullshit.
I was gonna bring that up because that was the first thing I was gonna bring up in my screen time anyway, because that was the majority of my weekend, like this past weekend and into early part of this week. So we'll just kind of share this one because
Yeah.
shit, man. Let me tell you guys, like on the one end, I am very hurt and sad, like on an honest level as a fan, because I was a huge fan of this creator. I had personally been subbed to her for over a year and a half, close to 2 years. And when I say subbed, I mean Twitch subbed, which means I was giving her my own money.
Yep, and there was a time I moved in, but I may have unsubbed her for financial reasons, which is an understandable thing. But
and I bought merch. Now, granted, that merch did eventually break because I dropped the cup and it cracked in half. That was on me, I guess. I did not know that cup was that fragile. But yeah, I bought merch.
I guess past you just instinctually knew something.
I mean, I guess you know who knew something. Fucking Neurosama.
But I mean, she is an AI,
Yeah,
so
the AI knows all. She predicted all that shit. That's yo. Those clips are crazy. No.
yeah. But so let's give at least some folks a little bit of context. TLDR, the famous indie VTuber, one of the top indie VTubers currently today, Cinder. It turns out to have been doing some very, very shady, catty, Regina George-esque maneuvers, like blacklisting her friends from working with an artist, completely trying to blackball one particular VTuber, who honestly I was a bigger fan of before I had found out about Cinder. Silvervale. She tried to fucking really blackball Silver, and that's why I was like, oh shit, not Silver. And Silver's an OG VTuber,
Silver Silver is an OG, and Silver has also just been through so much, man. Like, if you have been around the VTube space for a while, you guys should remember the whole Hogwarts Legacy controversy, and poor girl had to go through it, man.
Yeah.
Which is why I understand after all that BS that she kind of wants to keep more to herself and doesn't really want to reach out to people outside of her small circle of friends. Totally understandable, reasonable, even very healthy. But
yeah,
like to be this persistent and just not be able to take the hit, that is what really pissed me off. And also to hurt somebody who fucking put that formed this group of VTubering Avengers together. You fucking basically backstabbed the Captain America of VTuber Avengers, Bow the Whale, an absolute sweetheart, mind you.
And also, poor girl went through it a couple or so years back,
and she's been going through it now with just medical stuff that she's been public about. That that's her story to tell. So I'm not gonna get into it on here. But like if you're a fan of Bow's been going through a lot, and to just have her deal with all of this, that I'm a very I may not seem like it because I'm a fucking jackass, but like when I care about people, even parasocially, I am a very empathetic person, and that shit pissed me off. I've met Bao at an anime convention before, because I have family in California, so I happened to be in there when a con was in town, so I went and I got to meet Bao, and Bao is super nice. It was a brief interaction, and it's on a fan level. I don't know her like that, but she's very, very nice. She's a sweetheart. She's also like really tiny. Like I've seen her IRL streams and I thought she was short, but she is actually like really tiny. I was like, oh shit, wow.
You don't realize how tall a person is from the internet until you actually meet them in real life.
Yeah.
Which I did assume like the short jokes came in because her chat, even though it is like they roast this poor girl all the time, but they do it out of love, which is just hilarious.
It's with love. And that's the thing. Bao deserves all the love and support in the world. Like I doubt Bao is gonna hear this obscure ass podcast, but Bao, I just want to say the fact that you had the fucking courage to be able to press record and like really open up about how you were hurt by this situation and just actually be able to like cry your fucking heart out. Just let that all, put that all on the table. Chad ass fucking move, Bao. Based as fuck.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And also getting Shy Lily of all VTubers to be pissed at you.
Yo, Lily Kendrick Lamar'd her ass.
Yeah, she is. Since I haven't met her IRL, I only know her like parasocially, but she is the sweetest person.
Yeah,
that you'll ever see.
I know.
To backstab her,
like
girl.
Yeah, like
really.
Everything I've heard from people that have interacted with Lily or have worked with Lily, like they have had nothing but good things to say. The fact that Lily just nuked her ass was wild. Like, and it felt like every VTuber had something to say. Like, just that reaction, the entire like Tony said, reaction rabbit hole of like also the rest of that friend group, like Tricky, Yuzu, Numi.
Yeah, after a point, because Jay kept me updated on a lot of the situation with a lot of the affected VTubers, I was just, after a while, I was like, just seeing these hurt VTubers just makes me feel more so upset in general, and I don't want to be continually just upset.
No, I feel that. Honestly, like, the thing about it was, it reminded me, like, it was personally, like, very triggering to me, because, it's a massive, like, betrayal and backstabbing of a very close friend, like, who is a much larger creator. And so, like, it reminded me of the trauma bonding that, like, really kind of honestly solidified our friendship with this particular trio. Like, it's nowhere near on the same level, but, like, it's definitely, like, within the same, like, wavelength.
Because ours at least wasn't public.
Yeah, ours isn't public, and we don't intend to make it public, because, it's been over a decade now, and, like, wounds have healed. I can't speak for these gentlemen, but, like, I at the very least have forgiven that friend, and we're cool now.
Yeah, I'm someone who still lives with some scum scars, and I do have my typical trauma responses when it comes to that, but I am trying to mend that particular... trying to change certain behaviors.
I personally just feel like it just takes too much energy to fucking hate on somebody, and I don't have time to just use all that up on hate.
Currently, I'm not in hating, but like hadn't fully forgiven.
Although to be fair,
hey,
speaking for myself,
it all happens at your own pace, man. Like I'm not telling you to just hurry up and forgive said person, but like
To be fair, I've always been more of a guarded person. Funny, I know, just having those words coming out of my mouth, but there's some things that in order to protect myself, I just do to defend, putting up barrier upon barrier. And also the reasons for what Cinder has done to backstab her friends is...
Man, what a non-apology. Like legit.
Oh yeah,
some of the funniest responses was just like, yo, this would have been better if she brought out the ukulele. That shit had me dying. Because I was really getting a toxic gossip train vibes, like dead ass.
The toxic gossip train.
If you know, you know. I'm not gonna get into that one, but
look, and just coming from like this angle of, oh, it's a VTubing space, it's just business, but there are ways of actually going about it where you don't completely backstab your friends, homie.
I also call complete bullshit on the you should never mix business and friendship, because honestly, your friends are the best people to do business with, because if they're actually your friends, they're not gonna fuck you over.
Yeah, like think of it this way: if after trying to do some things on your own for all three of us independently to varying degrees of success, I wouldn't have the kind of online presence that I do, small as it may be, without these two guys.
Yeah, like we are absolute Z-listers, so I mean our opinion doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but like seeing this situation unfold made me be like, yo, I know I'll be fine. I know I'd be fine if we ended up thrust into a bigger spot, like, because I'm more used to this kind of thing. Not that I was ever like huge, but I've also kind of been in circles with bigger creators and they've given me warnings about this kind of things. But like, if anything, I'd just be more protective of these two chuckle fucks, because I know, like, no offense, but I know y'all couldn't. Yeah, y'all couldn't take this shit.
Yeah, no. I mean, I would try to not have it show or try to defend myself, but at some point I think I would make some things worse, just given my own nature.
And my issue is that I probably wouldn't stand up for myself as much as I should.
If anything, I'll try to defend you more than you would yourself.
Fair.
Yep.
Fair. But yeah. So
out of the two of us, Ryan, I am the more tenacious and just stubborn one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm more of the. Ironically enough, because I'm the least physically capable, but ironically enough, I'm the most independent one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but okay, so here's the funniest comparison. We're like an animal buddy comedy trio, just with different dog breeds.
Fair. Like, also, like to bring it to today's subject, honestly, like fucking Brian is the Lico, I'm the Roy, and ironically enough, Tony is the Dot.
I can say that.
That is fair. And I mean, I do kind of vibe with Dot's whole vibe, because she is the person in the chair, so to speak,
and she's the most guarded out of the three. We'll get into that when we get into the main discussion. But yeah, like so that was a big chunk of stuff that happened to both of us. But yeah, anything else you want to highlight, Tony?
Oh, that after all of that drama, I decide, you know what, more VTubing.
Oh, yeah.
Let's have it.
Oh yeah, we did. On a bright note, we did discover somebody new thanks to this drama, though. Someone who was affected that has gotten a huge boost, and I hope we'll continue to like hang on to these new viewers post drama. I know I'm going to be sticking around. I gave her my Prime sub, and I will continue to give her my Prime sub as long as I remember to.
The Cerberus VTuber Spite.
Yeah, which I'm a little upset. I never came across her before, because like she checks off all the boxes. like because she is a Cerberus, and she's very into Greek mythology, and I love Greek mythology. Greek mythology is like crack to me. She's got like a goth aesthetic. She seems very sweet and comfy.
Yeah, just a very low key, just kind of good vibes.
And like her design is definitely sexy, but it's not like try hard.
In your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not in your face. It's simple. It's effective. She just lets the design speak for itself.
I also like how she's managed to incorporate the extra heads as
like little pauldrons.
Yeah, it's like little shoulder pauldrons, and like they almost look like little plushies also almost as well.
Yeah, and she does have a Cerberus form where she's like a little fire doggo, but it's just this little cute chibi Cerberus where the middle head just speaks to other heads just looked either side like, oh, we just vibing. And she led me down this path of watching other VTubers react to one of my favorite channels, Casual Geographic.
Casual Geographic is so fun.
And it got to me finding a lot of different VTubers, subbing to those VTubers. Well, some of those I subbed for a completely different reason, for a different reaction set of videos. I checked out a VTuber that Brian has mentioned before on the podcast for her Kitchen Nightmare
reaction series. Yeah, I watched her as well.
Alicia X Life is her Twitch.
Yeah, Alicia X Life and YouTube. And girl seems like a lot of fun. Just someone fun to hang out with when you actually get her.
She also has been through a lot of shit, and we know personally that when you've been through a lot of shit, you as AJR says, 100 bad days lead to 100 good stories.
I mean, it also leads to a very, very dark sense of humor, which is why, like, when I heard Lily making all these like inappropriately timed jokes about the situation as shit was going on, I was like, oh my god, Lily, I love you even more now, because that's how I'm coping too. It's all the memes and jokes. Oh my god, the Hamilton memes, bro.
Oh yeah, that shit was like, no. Okay, so you wanna know what my favorite Casual Geographic reactions have been like? Only you VTubers have picked this particular video to react to.
Okay.
Some of them that I found. So, gentlemen, we all know what aura in our modern colloquial context is, right?
Yes.
Animals can have it too. So a lot of VTubers react to Casual Geo talking about animals with the most aura. Gentlemen, there is a bear in Canada that has so much aura, he is an anime protagonist.
Oh, shit.
This is a bear designated 122, or by his famous moniker, the Boss.
Oh, shit. There's a Gojo bear?
Listen, if you want to know about this bear, Casual Geo puts it better than I do. This is a bear, big-ass bear. Merc's other bears, he derailed a train twice when it hit him.
Oh, damn.
Oh shit!
Oh damn!
And listen, I'll paraphrase something that Casual Geo said about this guy. He's the last one to hibernate, but the first one to get up after hibernation.
Are you sure? Are we sure that this is a bear and not a demon bear from fucking New Mutants?
No, this is an actual factual bear, and he is responsible for 70% of all bear cubs in Canada, in his section of Canada.
Oh shit!
Damn.
He is Genghis Bear, and he got fucked up by a bear about the same size and about the same age by the name of Split Lip.
Oh damn, that's intense. This sounds like a fucking anime storyline.
Oh, it is. It's so anime, but it's up in Canada near Alberta.
Alberta. Hey, Wolverine's from there. That makes a lot of sense. It's a Wolverine bear.
Like, and also giving him a name just puts more fame on him, which leads us to doing stupid shit.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
So it is recommended if you're in Alberta and you know where Bear 122 is.
Stay the fuck away.
Don't go near the Boss. Don't go near the Boss. Like this bear, he's gone to places where they had to erect electric fences that are 9 feet tall just for him to not get in the compost.
Oh, damn. Wild.
They had to cut down trees just so he couldn't eat the fruit off of them.
Man.
Went into the backyards of houses.
That is a badass bear.
This bear built different.
Let's see you try and wrestle that one, Putin.
And also, Casual Geo goes into other animals with aura where they have like charisma aura, and you can relate to this, Jay.
Okay.
There was a husky that went, because I don't know where Kachumpka is. This is a husky because he got lost from his owners. They sent out a drone. You know what this dog did?
What do you do?
He started hanging out with bears. So it's a mama bear and 2 cubs.
Oh.
If you know anything about bears,
They're super protective of their babies, yeah.
you would expect this dog to get like completely murked.
Yeah.
But no, he adopted these bears.
Oh.
And they just tolerate him. It is so funny.
To be fair, I do get a lot of people to tolerate me. I don't know how. I'm a bit of a jackass.
If you want to hear like the most tragic of backstories when it comes to animals,
Oh, no.
I'm going to talk about Jacob the lion for a minute. Let me tell you about my man Jacob. He is an ion because he refuses to take the L, to take from the words of Casual Geo himself. At age 5, he lost one of his hind paws due to a trap used to capture water buffalo in Africa.
Ooh.
Oh.
From a tribe of lions that are specifically they like to sleep in trees. And after a while, 6 members of his pride got murked due to poisoning by poachers.
Damn.
And after six weeks after that, he got gored by a water buffalo that left a puncture wound in his chest.
Damn.
So it's just him and his brother Tibu. They lost to a group of male lions and had to leave their territory.
Uh-huh.
And the only place they could go to is across a river that's infested with crocs and hippos.
Oh, hippos are
Oh.
scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Especially African
And they
hippos.
Yeah, they're the most famous hippos. These are these 2 lions. You know why they crossed the river? They did it for the ladies, man.
They did it for the nookie.
Yeah, because they heard some lionesses be roaring for the promise of promiscuity. So the brothers swam over 40 miles
I respect that.
of river
I respect that.
to get to the other side of the river in croc and hippo infested waters.
I respect that.
And that's not the only 2-man that those 2 just saved their family line. If you really want to give kudos to a 2-man group that saved their species, Diego and E5 the tortoises.
Yeah, turtles.
Turtles
Like
in a house show.
Oh, you definitely know they have turtle power, but here's the funniest thing. E5 is responsible for 60% of tortoises on a particular island. I just can't remember the island off the top of my head.
Oh.
Good for you, E5.
But you know but here's the thing. His entire flow, his aura was stolen from him by his compatriot
Really?
because he's the loudest personality. Stolen valor when it comes to aura is a thing, apparently, and Diego is on that timing.
You know what? As a loud personality, I can vibe with that.
I mean, it's crazy. Diego be on that timing, though.
Diego does happen to be one of my middle names.
But so just so I could just stop on, because a lot of these VTubers didn't even realize what aura was, which it was kind of adorable for some of them.
Huh.
But the last one that I'll refer to this particular part so I could get to what my new favorite thing is.
Okay.
Is, gentlemen, we all know what a honey badger is, right?
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But you want to know...
They're also the proper code name for Wolverine's other daughter. I don't care what you say, Marvel. Scout is dumb.
Exactly. But do you want to know who the most famous honey badger is?
Who?
Stoffel.
Okay.
Let me tell you about my man Stoffel. He was found by, I think, a guy named Bryant, coincidentally enough, like Brian or Brian, who found him. Stoffel imprinted on him. He saw him as parent, and he was hand reared by humans, so they can't really put him out there in the wild.
Yeah.
And so on this reserve in Mahala Hollow, he caused chaos. Stoffel wanted to just vibe check everything. He wanted to fight a rhino 100 times his size. He got into a fight with his next door neighbor before they put him in his enclosure, like his proper home. He wanted to fight Ervil, and he folded a tawny eagle.
Damn.
Damn.
But the biggest like ops that he fought that led to him having a big 2-month or several month hospitalization was with the Pride of Lions because he wanted to just square up with them and attack.
He tried to run the ones with a Pride Alliance.
Yeah, the Pride Alliance are on this reserve.
That's crazy.
They mauled him, but you know what this man did? After recovering from his hospital stay, he went to go get the ones again with these lines.
Much respect. I like that you don't run from a fade stuff. You're a G.
Oh no, it gets even better or worse depending on your perspective. To the people at the reserve, he does the most disrespectful shit. He gets into their houses, eats their food, pisses on their floors, and he does it for fun.
Oh no. See, we'd have to square up their stuff.
That it's to the point where Brian was like, you know what, my war weasel, you need to be put in. Your enclosure needs to be a giant like dirt hole. So they put him in this enclosure. This man be acting like Harry Houdini. He would climb trees, remove the trees. Oh, I can't have trees. I'll just use this stick to get out of my enclosure. Okay, no sticks. Oh, I have these rocks. Push the rocks towards one of the corners. Get out that way. Remove rock. Oh, I can't have rocks anymore. Okay. I'll just use the mud. Oh, some dumb motherfucker just dropped a rake. I'm gonna use that too. And you know what these dumb humans thought? Oh, maybe if we give him a girlfriend, he'll calm down. No, he just taught her to just be as big of a menace.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
He took on an
Oh no,
apprentice.
now he has a Harley Quinn.
Yep.
Oh Jesus
And you
Christ.
know why he just keeps doing this?
Why?
He does it for fun. He does it for memes.
So he really is just like a fucking
Joker.
Lord of Chaos.
Yes, but he's 27 now, so he's like really old in honey badger years because
Yeah.
they only have a life expectancy of 26 years.
Oh wow.
Oh.
He lost most of his teeth. His girlfriend Hammy has to chew his food, but homeboy isn't going to end his bloodline because they have a kid named Stompy.
Oh man.
And Stompy be continuing his father's legacy.
Continuing the chaos.
I respect
Yeah, there's a
it.
picture of Stompy just biting the horn of a baby rhino.
Oh shit. I respect the fuck out of that.
Like, this family line is crazy. So, mad respect to Stompy. But I'm saving, like, the best story from that video so you guys can see it for yourself. It involves a hero dog.
Yeah, I love those.
And it's from a breed that most people don't really know about. And that breed is the Great Pyrenees. So, for you two here on the call with me and for the folks at home, check out Castle Geo.
Castle Geo is a great channel. I can confirm. It's a very fun channel.
And the VTubers reacting to it, especially his Gibbon video, fucking hilarious.
Oh man, good shit.
And I need to stop because I'll gush more about that. But the final point that I want to get to is some VTubers with little to no D&D experience have came across this channel called Legends of Adventurous.
Yep.
And
I know that channel.
and Brian, the animations in the VTubers reacting to this sweet baby Jesus, ain't this the
Yep.
fun shit I have seen in a long time.
Man.
Yep. Fun fact, because of the shorts, that is now the second ever D&D focused channel to break 2 million.
Oh nice.
Oh yeah. And Jay, one of the principal characters involves one of our greatest fears.
Clowns?
Yeah.
Spiders? Space?
The
First one.
clown.
Oh.
Clown, man.
Oh god damn it.
Because
Chuckle.
the character is called Chuckles the Clown.
Oh no, fuck that. Fuck.
No. Jay, listen. At first I was afraid.
You were
But
petrified?
listen, Chuckles is more like an old school cartoon character with a little bit of demonic energy.
Okay.
So he like the player who plays Chuckles plays him up like kind of like a Snagglepuss style character.
Okay.
Like his biggest thing is like he complained after he died. There's no wine in hell.
See, I like, man, my fear of clowns runs so deep that like I love Camila, but I can't. But as soon as Camila like goes into full clown mode, puts the nose on, I'm like, yep, I'm out. Goodbye.
Yeah, so Chuckles is like classic clown design, but he acts such like an old school like Hanna-Barbera cartoon character character, I can't be
that it doesn't like unsettle you like a normal clown would. Okay, cool. That's good to know.
And
But he does have his moments though where he gets
Where he's
unsettling
terrifying.
for a different reason.
yeah, because he gets a lot of his power from fiendish origins. I mean, fair. That makes sense.
Yep, all clowns
And
are
also-
evil. Makes sense.
Yeah, and it's funny because he talks about, as his battle cry, he says, I'm going to commit various war crimes.
Okay, I respect that, honestly.
Yeah, but
And then you have like funny moments where a lot, like the cast members of this particular D&D group, since it's based in a homebrew world, and these people do insane shit. Brian has a little bit more context to it than I do, but
it's a homebrew. This seems to be like a homebrew world, but they also like adapt modules.
Oh,
but
God.
the one that they're most known for is Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which if for those at home and probably Jay who don't know, that's the Fae-centric one,
Ah.
involving a Fae circus.
Oh no! Fake
And,
clown! Jesus Christ.
But listen, Jay, listen. They are so like not serious. They're not that scary. That they're just more funny. That they're not a threat to us.
As someone who also has a fear of clowns, I will trust you. Do not betray this
But,
trust, Tony. I will punch you in the throat.
And
And, no, like listen. There's a clown named Klutzy who got by an impossible, which is just like a fake meatball
Ah.
thrown by one of the characters. So this is like a Brian clown. After he died and became a ghost, he'd be like, dude, I just want to make you laugh. And it's like this clown was so innocent that he believed fucking Chuckles of all things. You don't believe Chuckles for shit.
yeah, and they also have a campaign where they're more animalistic, like smaller creatures, and one of them is Bitsy the mouse.
Oh god, this mouse is unhinged.
Yep.
Like I posted so in our group chat I posted a video of the VTuber Cypress.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
So watch that, Jay, and you'll get what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Like these clips are hilariously unhinged.
One of my favorites is they actually like sit down at a tavern and the server walks up and it's like, does your green child need a booster seat?
Yes, talking about
And
the
it's
Goblin Party member.
It's like,
And
man,
then
that is a 40-year-old man.
Yeah, it's just the animation just kind of paints him, like makes him shaped like a baby. But when you zoom in on him, you see beard stubble. It looks kind of wrinkly.
And the funny thing is at the end of the whole back and forth, it's like, well, the question still stands. Does need a booster seat? And it's like, yes, please.
And no. They gave him like fucking crayons and a word jumble, and he took it anyway.
Listen,
What the hell?
listen. When my niece was still old enough for like kids meals and shit, I would take those.
Oh, but Jay, you will love and hate this.
Okay.
The wizard over his shoulder solved the word jumble. Like, okay, so got that one, got that one. That one's a little difficult. You'll have a little tough time with that.
Oh.
And why do you always do that to me, Frosty? And also, the things that these players do, it's just so unhinged and hilarious. One of my favorite involves, coincidentally enough, just involves Chuckles. Okay, so context. Chuckles dies because he got punched in the chest or wherever, just in the body by our tiefling character Gideon, and he died. He went to hell. Easy enough. But this clown, so the DM's so someone that you've killed in the past is going to reveal a truth to you that they didn't tell anybody else. And then Chuckles comes and is like, did you know that I had chlamydia?
All right.
And just continues on this unhinged rant that says, gods, you're strong. You broke every rib I had when you hit me in the chest.
I was like, I didn't even try that hard.
It's like,
and
damn
if
it.
I knew it was going to lead to this, I would have punched you.
He would have done it anyway. No, the funniest thing's like, damn it, Chuckles, you were a mediocre clown at best.
Yeah, and they also sometimes implement this like random table that can lead to some hijinks. Like one of them is you have to insert a random Sylvan word into your everyday talk. One of them is
and one like a punishment thing is like the player who played Gideon his character would take 1d6 damage if the player laughed. So it was a challenge to make sure that he himself didn't didn't laugh because his character would take damage, but the people at the table are assholes that just got him to laugh anyway.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you know, we
Like,
live in that friend group.
Yeah, I was just saying,
Okay.
typical table stuff.
Yeah, but we didn't implement that kind of crazy shit, though.
No.
That's the difference. And I'm like, yo, no, the most unhinged things is like Bitsy doing Bitsy things. And it's they did a parody of Alexander Hamilton, Jay.
Oh, that's funny.
They called him Alexander Hamilton. And these frogs be perverts, dude.
Oh, man.
Also, Bitsy is one of those characters where it's like, oh, you have this character that looks sweet and cute, but says the most unhinged shit.
So she's Iron Mouse.
Like, yeah, no, nothing like Mousy. I don't think Mousy would just outright say to one of her coworkers if they ever shared an agent, like, I need an update on the stuff that for Bad Dragon. That's what Bitsy did. Do you think Mousy would do that shit? No, I don't think so.
Mel would.
Mel would.
But yeah,
that's Bitsy for you.
These guys spend a lot of time and like effort into doing animated shorts, which have really helped them gain popularity. They also released their own D&D campaign book.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
And
then
it was one of the I think it was one of the top fastest funded things from last year.
Oh, cool.
And just to have these VTubers, like these lesser known indie VTubers, just react to this shit is comedy gold.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Comedy. And they're like, some of them, for whatever reason that possesses them, they love Chuckles by the end of it. And I'm like, bro, this is a clown that has outright said, I'm going to commit war crimes. Who thinks the Geneva Convention is more like the Geneva Suggestion?
Yeah. And I believe Chuckles made it into their campaign book, or was like a stretch goal, but in that version he's an LGBT.
I mean, yeah.
You know what, that makes sense.
Yeah, because let's be real, Brian, the shit that Chuckles be doing, when he ultimately did die, he talked about every time a clown dies, they just get sucked up into the clown, like the Honk Legion.
All right, now that's terrifying.
Yep.
It's terrifying, but when you actually hear the characters say it in the most funniest of voices, like the terror just goes down like a couple levels because you're hearing it from essentially like a
like a Hanna-Barbera character.
Yeah, so you're hearing it from a cartoon character. It's kind of like him in that way.
Oh yeah, where it's still terrifying, but it's like, okay,
it's put in this funny context where it's like, oh my god, that's funny, so I'm not as scared, but deep down in my heart of hearts I am terrified still.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can fuck with that. But
it's also shout out to my main man Torbeck, the bugbear fucker.
Oh yeah, Torbeck.
Like Jay, Brian, we need to explain Torbeck's whole deal. Torbeck's a sad fuck. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
He has a girlfriend named Clementine who is just a cardboard cutout of just some random chick.
All right.
And Torbeck, after a while, has a hunger for human bones.
All right.
And if you want to add anything else, Brian.
Well, he also has the most grating voice. Torbeck would like to do this. But then there was one time where I think it was in the Fae shit, they actually had him realize what he actually sounded like. Yeah, and then it was like, all right, Torbeck, you now magically have the ability to sound like how you think you sound like. And he talked like this. Torbeck would like to go there.
And then there's this other instance where he meets Chuckles and he basically says, at least this place is better than the dumpster. And Chuckles be like, oh, so that's what that smell was like.
So he's like the Zoidberg of this group, it feels like.
He's from different, a couple different campaigns. And Chuckles did the most heinous shit to this man. Beck was introducing normally, and Chuckles is gonna do clown shit, pulls out the funny buzzer, and just electrifies the poor man. It says, oh, and Chuckles, after doing that to Torbeck, says, oh, you may have a bit of nerve damage. Torbeck responds, I think the nerve damage more or less came from the alcohol. But this shit has me dying from laughter.
It sounds hilarious.
So, trust me, Jay, there's some underlying fear of Chuckles the clown, but since he is so unserious and more funny, it's kind of like the Joker in that way.
Yeah.
He looks like Chuckles is an actual clown, mind you, not so much like the Joker, but he is such a cartoon character that you can be terrified of him, but not completely terrified.
That's honestly the spot I am in with the Joker, where the Joker terrifies me, but he's also supposed to be terrifying, so it's kind of like I can accept that, which is why I like the Joker, because I'm supposed to be scared.
Yeah, and
Chuckles is you're supposed to be scared.
Yeah,
you're unnerved by Chuckles, but he's so charismatically funny in like I keep saying, this classic Hanna-Barbera cartoon, because the player who plays Chuckles does this pitch perfect,
like a Snagglepuss voice.
Like Snagglepuss voice. And also, there's gonna be some moments of the clips that you'll see, Jay. I will warn you. A couple of them involve just a fascination with urine.
All right.
That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm like, why the fuck do we have to deal with this shit? And the people who play is like, why do we have this?
All
right.
Why? Good to know. Thanks for the
And
heads up.
also the like rolling random things. One time it did happen where two party members, their characters thought that each other was like the sexiest character ever, and so there's an awkward thing of like them wanting to sneak away and go behind a tree, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all right. So moving on, I guess we'll go to me now. The VTuber drama was the biggest chunk of what I dealt with for most of last weekend and into the early parts of this week. Like the week of this recording. The day of this recording is actually Free Comic Book Day. So I went to my local comic shop, picked up some of the freebies, which include the DC All In special, the Marvel Ultimate Universe / Amazing Spider-Man preview, the Fantastic Four plus Giant Size X-Men preview, this random indie one that I saw that looked kind of cool but I have no idea about. But I'm honestly the most excited for the IDW Godzilla Universe preview, which gives you basically the prologue to the 3 upcoming new series for the what IDW is referring to as the start of the Kaisei era, because this Godzilla universe will be focused around what is called Kaisei energy, which is essentially like kaiju energy produced by kaiju. That they're giving like an actual like term to the energy that kaiju produce, like, you know, what Godzilla uses for its atomic breath and stuff. And I've only read through the Godzilla ones because I wanted to know what those are about. The main series is really cool. So essentially, right, this universe takes place in a world where Hiroshima and Nagasaki awoke Godzilla, and you know, Godzilla has done his Godzilla thing, fucking with humankind and, you know, trying to protect and preserve the earth. And obviously he brings along with him several other kaijus, and so humanity has to adapt and adjust to like living with kaijus and constantly having to deal with kaijus. Which leads into the second series, which is Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone, which is essentially this like a series that takes place in obviously what is called the Dead Zone, which is basically the ground zero kind of impact radius where Godzilla first destroyed Tokyo, and it's like heavily irradiated, but it's also like, because it's so heavily irradiated, it's like a nexus point for Kaisei energy, so there's a lot of like research going on. To put it in Pokemon terms, actually, think of it like Area Zero. It's very similar to Area Zero in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So much so to the point where like in the deeper areas there are different anomalies and various new forms of kaiju that are coming along. And one of the and the main protagonist is Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone feels very much more like a shonen series, and the main protagonist is kind of like a little bit like Kid Kaiju / Kaiju number 8, where he's like actually a human kaiju hybrid, and it's very and he actually has kind of like a direct connection to Godzilla. I don't know if they're like related or something happened, but he's like a human kaiju hybrid. It's really interesting. And then there is Starship Godzilla, which is like this kind of spacefaring series where they're basically trying to figure out like where the fuck did these kaiju come from, so they're starting to like explore space, and it's also really interesting. The art is super trippy. I really like it. I've added all 3 of those shits to my pull list because I'm a big Godzilla fan, and these series look really interesting. I think if you guys are you know, big into kaiju, totally worth checking out. Before we started recording, I checked out a little bit of the Marvel Ultimate Universe one, and that one mostly kind of just showed the preview of the incoming Ultimate Incursion, which is the event where Miles Morales actually gets to experience the 1660. So that'll be interesting. I'm really looking forward to that, especially him teaming up with Pete, because because he never gets to actually team up with Pete in the 616.
He did for a bit, but then Pete dropped him like a hot potato.
Like they had their own series for a bit written by Greg Weisman, but nobody read that because it kind of sucked, to be honest. But yeah, he does. So it'll be fun to see Miles team up with Pete, especially because Miles is now the champion of Anansi. So I especially want to see like him go up against people like Ultimate Black Panther and especially Ultimate Moon Knight and stuff like that. That'll be super interesting. Didn't get to read the Superman one yet. I like glimpsed through the Fantastic Four stuff. But overall, Free Comic Book Day was pretty cool. I picked up some stuff on sale because there's always big sales at my shop on Free Comic Book Day. I picked up one of those like tankobon sized DC graphic novels because normally they're $9.99, but they were on sale, so it was only $7, which is like OG manga price. If you're old enough to remember that, congratulations, you're old. But yeah, I picked up Green Lantern Far Sector. Have not gotten a chance to read it. I just flipped through the art. It looks really cool. It's the only one of those graphic novels which is actually a series that I've never read before, so I was like, I gotta read. I'll pick up this one. I almost picked up All-Star Superman because I love it, but I already have a copy of All-Star Superman, so I was like, this feels redundant. I was like, I have Gotham City Sirens. I have all of these. I have Watchmen. I was like, oh, I don't have this one, so I picked that one up. And I also picked up the first volume of Ultimate Black Panther because I realized I'm reading every single Ultimate Universe book except for Ultimate Black Panther, but I'll probably continue to just read Ultimate Black Panther in trade because like comics are expensive and I'm not gonna read Black Panther monthly. I'm like deeply invested in the other ones, but like I can afford to just wait for trades for Black Panther. But I have heard good things about it, so I'm gonna check it out. So I'm glad I got to because it was on sale. Other stuff. Been playing more of Marvel Rivals. I'm getting close to getting Emma to Lord. Been playing a lot of Big Head mode with my cousin because that's the new like little event that's been going on, and it's hilarious because like everybody gets turned into these like big bobblehead chibi versions of themselves, and because their heads are huge, Hawkeye is so OP because he has a headshot multiplier with his damage, and the thing that's really funny is that like it's because it's a goof event. Every time you hit somebody with a headshot, like a little like clown horn honks. It's really funny. If you're curious, I encourage you to look up some of these models. Some of them are goofy and fun, and some of them are absolutely cursed. Like Ben's is perfect because ironically, Ben's original like model in Marvel Rivals, his head is super tiny, and now in big head mode, his head is actually proportional with his body. Reed's looks super goofy, but it's like it makes sense because he has stretchy powers, so like it doesn't throw me off. Ones that are cursed though, Cloak and Dagger is fucking cursed.
Oh god, yeah.
Because like their heads are massive, but because their characters are fused together, it just looks cursed. It really throws me off, and I'm a Cloak and Dagger main, so I use them a lot in this big head mode, and it was so freaky. Emma's is fun. Jeff's is absolutely hilarious because his head is like 6 times his tiny little body, so it's like Jeff's is so goofy. Rocket's is also goofy. Groot's is actually appropriate. Yeah, just go through those big head models. It's really fun. But yeah, Marvel Rivals continues to be a blast. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I did also, as of this recording, this previous Friday, I saw Thunderbolts, but I will save that for later because we may or may not be covering that sometime in the near future. So yeah, that's it for me. Brian, what about you?
Well, continuing to listen to the podcast, Kill Every Monster.
Cool.
It's really cool. Like they're continuing to vary it up. Like sometimes it's not a monster in the traditional sense, like a blink dog who's just the best boy but Faye. And they actually like bring on specialists sometimes. Like when they covered The Rock, they brought in a ornithologist. I believe that's what that's called.
Ornithologist.
What?
Ornithologist.
Ornithologist. I was close. They brought in an ornithologist for The Rock, which
I only know this because I now regularly work with animals, and I have spoken to several ornithologists.
which if you don't know what The Rock is in D&D,
I know what the rock is in mythology.
it's a huge ass bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5e just does a lot of mythology. But yeah, so they brought in an actual specialist to talk about that, and they brought in a chef to do an episode about myconins.
Oh god.
Aren't those like the
Which
mushroom
are-
things?
Yep, they brought in a chef to talk about them. So a well-educated chef would know a lot about mushrooms.
Yeah, or someone who grew up in the 60s.
Yeah, but every once in a while they veer off the monster manual to like do like bit of homebrew. One of them they did a mythology.
Okay.
They did a Kappa.
Oh, nice.
And they brought in a guest who his online username is Kappa Chris. So he knew all about him. Also, they did one.
I just got a really funny image in my head of like a Kappa, like learning martial arts, specifically capoeira.
Oh, nice.
Which would honestly be very difficult for a Kappa to learn because there's a lot of like, it's dance fighting, so there's a lot of like, almost like breakdance moves, and obviously it can't spill the water out of its little saucer. So like,
yeah,
it's got to struggle with that.
Yep, and they definitely play with that. Like they add in the whole spilling the water thing to the character. But lastly, talk about for our podcast is actually ties into like today's episode. They actually did one Pokemon. Now, if you were gonna pick one Pokemon to be a D&D monster, which one would you pick?
What level of D&D monster? Are we talking like BBEG?
No, like just to fuck with your players, like
just to
lower level.
Just to fuck with lower level players? I'd probably go like an Ursa ring if I was feeling like nice.
No, they went more creative. Gengar.
Ooh, Gengar.
Yeah, and they played up the whole playfulness of Gengar and how he thinks that he's being playful, but really it's a quote unquote pranks. But also did not realize the mythology of Gengar, that if a Gengar kills you, you become a Ghastly.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And they actually wrote that mechanic into the stat block. And basically the way that it works is if you don't resurrect the soul in time, it's just lost forever as a Ghastly.
Interesting.
Yeah. Then also I checked out the infamous pilot going around right now. We actually watched the trailer for it. The Gaslight District.
Which one was that? Like, describe the
like zombie steampunk claymation.
Right.
Yeah.
That's on YouTube, right? Isn't that like that's like an indie one? Yeah.
It's by Glitch Studios, the same people that did
Amazing Digital Circus,
and Murder Drones. But yeah, so really liked it. It's only like a 20-minute pilot, so there's not too much in it, but it is really good. It definitely gives off vibes of like the early 2000s like freaky video games, like Grim Fandango, Psychonaut.
Yeah.
It gives off that vibe too. It's really cool. The first episode is very heisty.
Okay.
And it's got a lot of unique characters, and it definitely continues that trend of the gruff guy being surprisingly a father figure to a teen girl.
Well, I mean, that's like the secret sauce currently right now.
But yeah, it was very well done and very, very good. I really liked it. I also checked out the last 2 episodes of Doctor Who, the one from last week and the one that literally came out day of recording. Doctor Who has become my Daredevil Born Again. Like, I know we're probably going to cover it for the show, but I can't wait to binge it, watching it week to week.
I understand. You're a much bigger Doctor Who fan. That makes sense.
And I gotta tell you, I think that they've really gotten into a groove now.
Nice. That's good to hear.
The first episode, which I've talked about before, is good but not great. But ever since then, they have been on all cylinders. The one before today's episode was called The Well, and that was the one where in the trailer you see them in spacesuits, and it is a very isolation space horror episode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it gets really scary, like David Tennant era scary.
Listen, I still classify Gravity as a horror film.
Yeah,
Gravity was a terrifying movie.
But if you remember how scary David Tennant's episodes could get, it's kind of got that similar vibe, except Shooty's doctor is more in tune with his emotions, so it's less brooding than David.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, this new companion, I am really liking her. I continue to believe what I said last time when I talked about it, that if Ruby gave off little sister energy, she gives off big sister.
Nice.
And this latest episode, today's episode, is a Dr. Light episode where we meet back up with Ruby.
Nice.
And Unit. And it gets social commentary commentary-y, but like not in the annoying way. You know what I mean?
No, I get you.
Especially in today's climate where people can get a little too preachy.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so I am really liking what is going on. Next episode, tying it into something that you talked about, Jay. Next episode is the Anansi episode.
Oh, cool.
Which in the like next time trailer, they don't come out and say that it's a Nazi, but they say stuff like the doctor says stuff like never face someone like you, what's going on, and then it ends with a who are you, and then jump cut to a giant spider.
Oh, no, fuck that.
And they're in Africa. I think they're in Kenya specifically. So
As soon as you said Africa, I'm not gonna lie, as soon as you said they're in Africa, Toto started playing in my head.
But Doctor Who going up against a Nazi. No wonder they needed a Dr. Light episode.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that sounds dope. I'm looking forward to it. Real quick, before we jump into trailer talk, I will say, I speaking of stuff we're keeping up with that we will probably eventually cover, Last of Us Season 2 still continues to be very solid.
Nice.
So far, we haven't gotten into bullshit territory, but we're still very early, and I don't know if we're gonna jump into, like, it feels like we might jump into second game stuff already.
I heard that I haven't like watched it yet, but I heard episode 2 got controversial.
It did. That's all I'm gonna say. It did. We'll get into it when we get there. It's on the list, folks. Don't worry. It's on the list. But yeah, all right. Now we can move on to trailer talk. Trailer talk, for those of you guys who are new to the podcast, is the segment where our boy Brian has gathered together six brand new trailers as of the recording of this podcast, at the very least, and put them together in a handy dandy playlist, which you can find in the description down below. So please take a second before you go ahead and click like and subscribe on this video if you haven't already, to also check out that playlist in the description, pause the video, watch those trailers, and then once you unpause it, magically, through the power of editing, we will have already seen all those trailers and react to them, and then we will give you our rapid fire thoughts on said trailers. So while we will be gone for this brief second, please enjoy this word from our non-existent sponsors, and don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Don't forget, it's important.
Notification.
All right, we'll see you in a sec. And we're back. All right, a really good set of trailers this week. A lot of fun. Where do we want to start?
At the beginning.
All right, so the first one, super hype. We talked about it before in like a couple news stories, but actually seeing the trailer is a whole nother thing. Now you see me, now you don't. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, indeed. And it's the new cast is great.
We get all the OGs coming back.
Yep. Justice Smith being Justice Smith.
Yep.
The awkward, funny guy, which is a nice addition to all these overly cocky, confident magicians.
It's funny. Justice Smith plays the role that you would expect Jesse Eisenberg to play in anything else besides magician. Now you see me.
Oh yeah. And it's cool to see homeboy from Holdover.
Yeah.
He was the one that they all turned into. The new white guy.
Yep.
But yeah, so that movie just looks great, honestly. I love the series, and I love that they're bringing it back. I love that Issa Fisher is back.
Yep.
Which also, if you notice, they call back to her first scene in the trailer, which is funny because Issa actually admitted that she almost died.
Oh shit.
Filming that scene.
That's crazy.
The original one.
That's crazy. I did not know that. Wow.
Because they do their own stunts for this movie.
Oh yeah.
And she was submerged underwater, chained up.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it looks great. It looks like one of those things where it's like bringing back the old days, but incorporating the new crew.
It gives me the vibe of like a Top Gun Maverick, which is like, I feel like the best case scenario of this type of thing.
I can see how the director said that not only are they working on another one after this, but multiple spin-offs.
I would be here for it. I honestly really like this franchise.
Oh yeah, and the new villain seems typical, but that actress, she can play a villain in her sleep.
Oh yeah, and they got Morgan Freeman back. I'm just so hyped.
I wonder if Michael Caine is going to be back.
I want to see Michael Caine. I want to see Mark Ruffalo.
Also, they got back Issa Fisher. Does that mean that we're not going to get to see Lizzie Kaplan?
We'll see.
She wasn't in the trailer.
She wasn't in the trailer, but she could still be in the movie. I wonder if we're also going to get a reference to Woody Harrelson's brother.
Oh yeah. I almost wonder, knowing this franchise, if her involvement in everything is going to be like a third act discovery.
Yeah, I could see that. Because these movies operate on heist rules, so it could be like a, one of those triple cross double agent, like secret man on the inside type thing. I could totally see that.
And speaking of like action movies, Deep Cover.
Yeah, that looks fun. That looks so much fun, and also just very silly. I honestly did not know Orlando Bloom was that funny.
Oh yeah, he can be. Also, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard, I knew was funny. She's great.
Yep. And the third guy is from Ted Lasso.
Yep.
And so trust that.
Ted Lasso
Also-
is phenomenal.
Also, tying into last episode when we were talking about trailers, another Game of Thrones actor. I wonder if he's gonna survive this movie.
Yeah.
Also, Game of Thrones actor that we talked about last week, Paddy Considine. He's in the film.
I didn't see him. I saw Sean Bean. I did not see Patty Considine.
Me neither. Did see Ian McShane.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was brief, but I did see Ian McShane. I saw Patty Considine's name in the list. I didn't see him in the trailer. But yeah, that looks fun.
June 12th on Amazon.
Yep.
Another streaming movie, Fear Street. Prom Queen.
I'm excited for this. The last Fear Street was a lot of fun. It had the actress who played Nami in live action One Piece in it.
She was in the second one out of the trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm excited. It looks fun. I love slashers, so I'm here for it. It feels very classic. You know, people shit on R.L. Stine, and Fear Street isn't as beloved as Goosebump, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, indeed. And it's always just good sometimes to have a good slasher film, but nothing too like deep about it.
Yeah.
Apparently Chris Klein is in it.
Right?
Which, even though known forever for American Pie Oz, he does have that Arrowverse stain.
Wait, he was in the
Remember,
Arrowverse?
he was Cicada.
Oh, shit.
Crazy.
I completely forgot.
Yo, but anyway, and then he got replaced by his daughter from the future.
Yeah, but anyways, moving on.
Anyway,
what's the Bryan Cranston movie called? Oh, Everything's Gonna Be Alright, or what?
Everything's gonna be great.
Everything's Gonna Be Great. That looks like a fun, very sweet, family bonding movie.
Yep. Surprised that we haven't gotten the pairing of Allison Janney and Bryan Cranston yet.
Yeah, right? Their chemistry is off the charts. I love just that petty back and forth at the end there.
Also, it's weird to see little Miles growing up some.
Yeah.
Because he was in Bly Manor as the creepy kid that had a crush on the au pair.
Yep.
Yeah. So it just looks like a heartwarming family thing. It does have the added element for us that the parents are clearly aging theater geeks.
Yeah, and it's centered around theater itself, and we're all fucking theater kids, so we definitely vibe with that shit. So yeah. Moving on.
Yep. Got a little existential.
Yeah. So I don't even know how to talk about. This next one.
People Like Me.
People Like Me.
Starring Darren.
He said his name in the thing, and I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Darren Von Gildner. Also, you might know him online as Darren. He is one of the former SourceFed people. He was like the young intern.
Yep.
Which while he was on SourceFed, by the way, he got together with Ava, and I believe they're still together.
Oh, nice.
She actually helped make this show. Which I'll be honest with you, I don't know what it's gonna be about.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know how to talk about this one, because it feels like I don't really know how to describe it, and it feels like deep and very reflection based and semi-autobiographical.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be like a mix of interview, but also acting, and also has a bit of the Vince Staples show vibe to it.
Yeah.
If you watched his TikToks or his shorts on YouTube, it definitely has that same vibe. Okay, so and I just put it on there because we like to support YouTubers.
Yeah, exactly.
So last but certainly not least,
definitely not least,
Summer of '69.
Nice. And nice is the best. Is definitely the way I would describe this trailer. This trailer shocked us from frame one.
Oh yeah. Jay was like, "Wait, pause it, rewind that."
I'm sorry. One more time. And I was like, that's what I thought she said. Okay. So yeah, it's a classic teen raunchy comedy, like in the same vein of like that Jennifer Lawrence one that I thought was really funny that's on Netflix.
Also, dude, in a similar vein to, and this is gonna make sense because it's the same production company, Prom Dates.
Oh yeah, it does have
shit.
it does have a very similar vibe. We loved that movie.
Also, weirdly enough, they both feature a cast member from High School Musical, the musical, the series.
Oh, who?
The love interest. He was what's his face?
EJ?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
I believe.
That's what EJ's the tall jock guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yep.
him.
I remember his name. Nice.
But yeah, it looks like it's a fun coming of age with a slightly different twist that nobody saw coming. The stripper mentor.
Yeah, but I like it's so, and like I also love that the title is a pun. I thought this was gonna be set in the 60s, but no, this is actually just centered around a sexual position. Oh, so fun.
Because apparently the dude loves 69.
I mean, listen, to each their own, and like, you know, it's a pretty good one. There are worse ones to be fixated on.
Also, this goes to show you though, like that time in your life where you have a crush on somebody and you only fixate on one part of them.
Fair. Hey, it could have been worse for her. He could have said they could have said he's a vampire. And
Or hey,
and folks, if you don't know what that is, and you are and you are more of the no offense, prudish variety, don't Google it. We're not talking Twilight or Anne Rice here.
yep, just like be glad that he's not into playing the trombone,
Or golden showers.
which they do kindly vaguely talk about a part of playing the trombone in this trailer.
Yeah. I mean, personally, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with getting your diaper changed. It is quite the experience. But you know, I will leave it at that.
Okay. But that was so funny where she was like, so what's a rim job? And she does not get it right.
At all. Like, not even close. It's hilarious. Like
Girls.
the comedic chemistry
if-
is great.
Yeah, you're gonna need to know communication, which is true. But then the teacher that by
Listen, that's a really clever way of Miyagiing this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that looks fun. We put that shit on the list because, like, you know, Thunderbolts. I'll go ahead and spoil it now, and you know, sometimes people do skip towards the end. I know people, so you might not even hear this at this point. But Thunderbolts is our next one, so we will be covering it after Thunderbolts. So might feel like a little bit of whiplash, but it's also a nice palate cleanser. You know, we talk about something that'll heavily feature mental health, and then we go to something fun and light.
Yep.
But yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. I will explain I will explain to the guys off camera what the colloquialism I mentioned means, and you'll get the reaction.
I mean, I understood the colloquialism.
Oh, okay. I didn't want you to think I was into fucking age play or some shit, because
it's
I'm
still not for me, but I got it.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it. Don't knock it till you try it. But anyways, moving on. That is trailer talk. So now we're gonna finally
On that note,
dive into the wonderful world of Pokemon. We'll return to the Paldea region. All right, so how we're gonna do this is very simple. We're gonna be focusing on our core trio. First, we're gonna talk about our first partner pair of Dot and Quaxley / Quaxwell. Then, as well as, of course, Tinkatink, because Tinkatink also plays a role as well. And then we will talk about Roy and the boy Coco / Crocodile.
yo,
And I know technically, you know, you're like, hey, wait, Jay, don't you start with non-spoilers? Aren't you spoiling they evolve? Come on, guys, it's a Pokemon series. You know they evolve. It's not really a spoiler. And then, last but certainly not least, we will talk about Liko and Florigato, along with Hatrim as well. Because Liko's saved for last, because Liko's section obviously connects the most to the lore and the actual, like, plot. So we'll save that for towards the end. So yeah, let's start with Dot. What I like about this series, and I want to just start off right off the bat, is that it's unconventional with the gym challenges. In the fact that
challenges, actually. It's
Well-
more like...
yeah. It's more like a test, but like it's still technically a gym challenge because they're facing a gym leader. But I like that this is not just a victory-based thing, right? It's helping them grow as people and as trainers. It helps to break the formula while still giving us battle action, which is why when this was going on in Japan and like I was like watching like recaps and reviews from content creators about this, I didn't understand the complaint because like they're not as good, but no shit they're not as good. They get bailed out by the adults, so they've never had time to grow on their own. This is the first time they get to grow on their own, and they're actually learning. Like they're not stuck in a permanent loop like Ash was for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Like we actually get to see them make mistakes, and they actually face the consequences of those actions and then learn. Dot's big lesson is all about adaptation, which makes a lot of sense for her character. Her character is very analytical, very prepared. So of course, and because she has a lot of the information and stuff, it makes sense that she's very tactical. She builds a strategy. She comes in, ready to go, and it's like, all right, I know how to beat Larry. I've watched a lot of Larry's footage. I think I figured this shit out. And she gets bodied. But in the middle of it, she starts to figure out, wait, oh shit. When she goes back, she's like, oh shit, hold on. My boy Quaxley is very adaptable. He's on the fly. He's been able to figure out. He basically unlocked a fucking Sharingan technique, to use a Naruto reference. If you know like how the Sharingan works, how when Sasuke activates the Sharingan, he's able to like perfectly mirror the physical movements and technique of characters. That's literally what Quaxley was doing.
No, what Quaxley did, he did.
He fucking did.
Yeah.
He fucking pulled like Kakashi / Sasuke with all the Orokorio's moves and shit.
Yeah, I know this is not what they were going for, and that it's probably not mechanically possible. But at one point, I thought they were going to say that he learned victory dance, revolution dance.
It would have been a very creative way. It would have been a very creative way to do it, like to represent kind of like a TM type thing. Like, and I mean, Ash has done shit like that, where he's like, where his Pokemon have seen other Pokemon do a move and then they did it. So like, there's a precedent for that. That's why I thought that was going to happen as well. When I first saw it, when like this happened early on in like on the JP side of shit.
The Quaxley line can even learn Revelation Dance, which is
it cannot. It can't because it's an Orocorio exclusive move. But yeah, it's a crime. They definitely should. But I loved how it worked, and I loved that they incorporated the lore of Quaxley / Quaxwell into Quaxley's evolution into Quaxwell. Like it's developing a new move and like learning new routines is what helped it evolve.
And it evolved mid-battle,
which is always the coolest evolution types in my opinion. Like
and even though Dot lost against Larry, she still got the passing grade
because she learned to adapt and when to make the right decision on the fly, which is important as a trainer. And it's also important when you're utilizing something such as something so powerful as terrestrialization, because one mistake that the kids make willy-nilly in their like failed attempts in these usage tests is that they just kind of pull the trigger on it. You can do that in the games, because in the games it's kind of like just a one-tap win button. You actually have to put more strategy into it with anime rules, which I appreciate. And also, just a side note, we talked about this before, but I really I honestly, as much as I enjoy the goofy hats in the video games, the anime does such a better job of making terrestrialization seem cooler.
Oh yeah, because of a sheen on the Pokemon where it looked crystalline.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the what is the best way to say it? The like stem part isn't as long.
Just say the goofy hat part.
No, I'm talking about like the specific part of the hat.
Yeah, the goofy hat parts with that actually have like the type symbol on it.
The part underneath it, like the little that connects to the head.
Oh yeah, the connector parts. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Oh, the headband.
Those are not as big.
Yeah, it's not as prominent in the anime design as it is in the video games, which adds to the goofiness in the games, and honestly, like, brings a little charm to it. But maybe that's just me. I like the big goofy head, especially some
I
of them.
do-
My favorite ones are like the ground type hat is one of my favorites.
Yeah, the ground type hat makes sense. Even when you put on a Pokemon that is flat as fuck.
Yeah, so fun. But yeah, so like that was really cool. And Larry's the goat. Larry's my man. That's my favorite gym leader of the Paldea region. That is my goat right there. And I don't feel bad for Dot at all because that Staraptor's facade, that's no joke. Especially terrestrialized facade. Oh, buddy, let me tell you, my boy Los Manos had a little bit of trouble with that facade, and he's an electric fighting type.
But listen to me when I say this. This is also a man who's one of the most overworked Pokemon trainers. In fact, any gym leader in history.
Because not only because he does double duty. He's not only a gym leader, he's an Elite Four member.
And on top of that, he's a regular office man too.
Yep, he does the office work in the Pokemon League.
Like, I'm going to need the receipts for that.
Itemize that, please.
Yeah.
Itemize that, please.
The voice actor they got for the dub is just hilarious.
Pitch perfect.
Okay, man. So blasé.
He just needs a fucking nap. Relatable.
Also,
And I like-
he actually locks in.
Oh yeah.
Because he gets the exercise done.
Yeah. And I also like, again, the reference to the game, the fact that we first see Larry at the noodle shop.
Technically, it's a ramen eatery. No, it's a rice eatery thing.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a clear parallel to when we meet Larry before. And also, I like that the dish they serve at the treasure eatery is the one that you have to fucking hunt down all those goddamn ingredients for.
Oh,
for his challenge. Yeah.
But by far my favorite for the whole plotline for Dot is focusing on a King Gambit.
I love the King Gambit. That's my guy.
Oh yeah.
I watched that episode when I had eaten dinner and I was like, oh, this was a mistake. I want noodles now.
Oh yeah.
No, homie was basically wanting to make sure his trainer and his trainer's business partner, girlfriend,
Wife. They were definitely an old married couple. They were arguing like an old married couple.
they fought like King Gambit was like, hey yo, I need to do what's best for my guy, so I'm gonna try to bring, because it was my voice that brought in everybody.
Yep.
Well, Nandy at least. So he was trying to do his best for his homie.
And I also like that, like, they overloaded their food with like so much shit that you couldn't really taste anything, but then they found the noodles. It's like, here we go, this is what we want.
It was also noodles made by King Gambit himself.
Yep.
And I like that it was Dot who came up with that idea, not only because like it's her story, but also because it shows like her marketing prowess because of being
A content creator, exactly.
Amazing.
Also, not even just marketing prowess. Think about it like this: her uncle, who she's very close to, is a chef.
True.
So she'd know a lot about like palate and culinary stuff. Because remember, he has her taste test a lot of his dishes, and she's a very harsh critic.
facts.
And when she says something is delicious, you know it's good. And apparently that ramen that King Gambit made is off the charts great.
Yeah, I wanted to eat it so bad because the way they described it too. Because I love chewy noodles. Those are my favorite kind. Like especially like the thick chewy noodles. Oh man, I was starving. Honestly, I'm starting to get hungry now thinking about it. But yeah, that whole plot line was so much fun. Also, now we're gonna pivot to our boy Roy and talk about his plot line. So first off, we get more of Roy's backstory and we learn about his folks and that like singing was a big like connection point for him and his family. So like I was kind of confused like both times watching it subbed and dubbed. I was kind of confused. Maybe you guys can clarify this for me and I maybe have missed something. So like, are they just away or did they die at sea?
I don't know.
Because they leave and we don't hear from them again. That's Disney talk for parents died, but they don't ever say it.
Right? I don't know.
Right? Like, did Roy experience the Anna Elsa treatment?
I don't know, because I was expecting him to at one point say, and that was the last time I ever saw them.
Yeah, but that was never said, so we don't know if they're just gone. Tony, do you know? Because like, I'm still confused on that one.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So like, we pivoted to Roy, and like the thing that I'm confused on is like, so are Roy's parents dead?
No, they're just on a long voyage.
Because okay, so that's what I thought, but right, how it was framed, both when I first watched it in the sub, and I was like, okay, maybe the dub will clarify this. Maybe the dub will clarify this, but the dub was still also equally as vague because he said that they went off on a trip, but we also never see them again.
No, from what I can understand, judging by the design of their boat, they are a cargo ship.
Okay.
Safe to assume that they're getting supplies for the entirety of the island, which isn't going to be that easy to obtain, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they can't get things from like the mainland, it's like maybe it's
just there was no definitive word on like whether or not they were coming back. You know what I mean? Or if Roy.
And the verbiage was very.
Yeah, it felt very Disney. Like Anna Elsa, like parents went on a trip and then all of a sudden funeral.
I mean, these are people who are experienced sailors, and
I mean, Anna and Elsa lived in a maritime kingdom, and you know.
I mean, the royalty kind of don't give off the vibe of experienced sailors.
Fair enough.
But these are experienced sailers. Yes, things can happen, but counter argument.
Cause like
they have a water type on the team.
Cause like all no, that's also fair. But the other thing is right. The grandfather mentioned that like it's just been him and Roy without his parents. Like when we first met him, so I was like, all right, so like this all so are because I went back also and I watched like Roy's first episode just to double check, and I was like, all right, so are the parents dead? I'm confused.
And the verbiage that Roy is using and the way that he tells the story.
Yeah, and the way the story is framed, it's like, you know, their song will always be in my heart type beat. And I was like, so they're dead.
Well, they're not dead, from my understanding. My understanding is that due to the nature of their job, it's taking much longer.
Okay.
So it's like making me think of like Deadliest Catch with the like crab.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so think of it like this. It's basically they are transporting goods. They're grabbing goods from a different location. They could be even fishing too, for all we know. So it's a little bit of column A, which is the transport hauling and grabbing of things, either from the island or getting stuff to the island, and a little bit of fishing on the side.
Okay, I can see that.
So it's not always anything ominous or sad, tragic enemy backstory. It could be just like his parents are doing their damn job.
Listen, man, he's so shonen protagonist coded that I was like, okay, dead parents, got it.
Nope,
Raised by grandpa.
Taking a bag.
Like you have to admit, Roy is the most like shonen protagonist ass protagonist.
The Pokemon anime, yeah, but
Like-
on OMJ, sometimes that coding could just be a misdirection.
No, that's fair. I'm not. Yeah, that's why I had to ask because I was like, I was very confused, and I'm glad I wasn't alone because I was like, okay, Bryant was me too, so I was like, I wasn't just tripping.
Why am I being like the voice of like, no, do we see bodies? We can't confirm that they've actually made the way of the anime mom here.
Fair enough.
If I don't see a body, then I'm not gonna believe Fucker's dead.
But I mean, would they show a body on the kids show?
No, they won't. But all I'm saying is, if I don't have definitive proof, either from like a person saying it, not vaguely, but just outright saying it,
Fair enough.
or I see a body, because most anime can get away with that shit, then I'm not gonna believe a motherfucker.
Fair enough. But yeah,
I get that.
Back to Roy now that we've cleared up this confusion. His lesson was more about kind of not necessarily adapting in the same way of Dot, but more like changing his rhythm, right? Finding the song. More like taking his shit off repeat and creating an actual like playlist, as it were.
Yeah.
And slowing down a bit.
Yeah, definitely slowing down a bit. Because like the thing with Fuecoco, and again, I love that they're incorporating the actual like lore of the Pokemon with their development. Is like Fuecoco is all about music and singing. Like, you know, you're gonna get bored singing and complacent singing the same song over and over again, and like it's just the same cadence and same tune. But like eventually, like once they found this new song and this new pace, this new flow, they were able to really kick ass. And I also love that Fuecoco incorporates Roy's family song into his new shit.
No, he actually made it like he took the tune of the song,
Yeah.
but made it his own.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's what Jay was saying.
Yeah.
But, also, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I much prefer this song.
Oh yeah.
To the
Yeah.
Go-Go.
Yeah. Go Fuecoco was kind of getting annoying. I'm not not gonna hold you. I'm with you.
There was
Yeah,
no
and-
rhythm to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically
Yeah. The lyrics didn't have any flow to them. I'm not gonna. I spent like the, you know that I believe in you. I'm like, all right. There's no actual musicality to this song. And as a musician, it was
But
fucking.
But now we've got go.
Yep. I love that he got the audience hype into it, and like, you know, Fuecoco itself is a performer Pokemon, so like the fact that, you know, the audience hype also helped it out was really dope.
and also because this is my favorite Paldean gym leader.
Rhyme is my favorite gym leader aesthetically. Larry is my favorite just in general because I just vibe with that man.
I can
So
get
no, this
that.
is my favorite gym leader. This is my favorite Paldean gym leader because her thing just speaks to me, and also her backstory with her sister Time is just great.
Man, Time, the only math teacher where I got an A in a math class, Pokemon math.
It took
Funny how that-
Pokemon for you to get an A in math.
Also, I needed your opinion, Jay, as someone who understands rap flow. Because Japanese rhyme and English rhyme, their flows would be similar but different in the way they.
As someone who's watched both, because I, you know, like I said, I watched the sub. I watched the sub when it came out. You know, I keep up with the JP stuff for Horizons because like I love Pokemon like that. And ever since X and Y, I've been watching the sub for Pokemon stuff. It's definitely different. And as someone who listens to both American hip hop and J hip hop, it's really interesting. Obviously, you have to change the cadence because like they have different syllables for shit. And the thing about constructing rhyme on a technical level is like syllable count and syllable flow and internal and external rhyme scheme. So like how they figured it out works out really well. And I like a lot of rhyme shit. Obviously it's very basic. It's a kid's show. Like I'm not expecting like fucking elite level lyricism from Pokemon, but it's good.
That's good.
Also, we hyped up our boy when she got the whole crowd cheering during.
Also, shout out to Charlie for making his appearance.
Yep. Our boy.
Like that. I love when the game first came out. Everybody spammed Charlie and was like, "Bro, this trainer sprite looks exactly like you." And for those of you who are unaware or maybe like aren't like up on internet culture, the Charlie I'm referring to is the boy Moist Critical Penguin Zero.
Oh yeah.
Did we get him to voice the guy?
Oh, that would have been perfect. But like,
they didn't.
Like, doesn't he look exactly like Charlie?
Yeah.
I knew exactly what you're talking about, Jay.
Oh yeah, I know you knew. I know you knew because like, you know, it was all over the Poke community. Like that. Oh shit, this trainer sprite looks exactly like Charlie.
This is just Moist Critical, man.
The beanie and everything. It was crazy. But he was cool too. I love. Shout out to MC Sledge.
MC Sledge, the GOAT, but not as much of a GOAT as like the MC of RIP.
Yep. Oh yeah, Rhyme was dope as fuck. Also,
Which I
Houndstone.
like how they teased her.
Yeah, like you know, obviously she showed up in the Annihilate episode in the previous part, and then like we see her again. Yeah, they do a good job of setting up all the gym leaders that we get to interact with. And also just a side note, Houndstone is one of my favorite Paldean Pokemon. Just period. Houndstone and Griever.
Oh, especially
The
when
Griever.
you give it its a natural ability,
Oh, yeah.
fur coat.
Oh yeah, and also like I love again they're incorporating the lore. Like when they were playing with the Houndstones, it was like, why do I feel so tired? Oh shit.
Yep,
And it's
and
like,
you know,
oh no.
and you know, it has one of the best new moves, Last Respect.
Oh yeah.
Hey, listen, we're talking about Griever because that's the first stage of Houndstone.
Yep.
Yeah,
And because that's mostly the dex entry for Griever.
Yep.
Talking like, hey, I'm happy, I love you, but I'm slowly healing.
Honestly, that's my dog. My dog always fucking wants attention and won't leave me the fuck alone. So I relate to that. But yeah, it was fun. I liked it. Roy Shallons was solid. Now I'm honestly glad that the boy Coco was the last one to evolve because honestly, I love boy Coco the most.
Yeah, because he's the GOAT. He's our boy.
That's our boy. That's our baby boy. I love boy
like
Coco.
honestly, I think that is like one of the best like first stage designs ever.
Period. Oh my god, it's just so cute. They sell a life-size plushie, and I am very tempted. Very tempted.
I know they have a Funko that I'm tempted to get.
But yeah, man. And I also love just the joke of like Fuecoco covered in snow looks like Frigiback.
And then Poikoko thought in an instant and made the ears.
Yep, to get confused for Cub 2. Yeah, that was adorable. And I love that, like, you know, even after their little incident, like, Mama Bear Tick was cool with them afterwards. Like, oh no, we're good.
Like,
We can we can be friends now.
You may have accidentally, like, to be fair, on, like, Roy and the gang, Mama Beartick accidentally bumped into her baby, which scared her baby.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. And man, I also, like, you know, we'll get to this with Liko, but I do feel like the secondary mon, like, one complaint that I do have just kind of overall, and it's kind of still persistent to this day, not as much in current time, but like the non-primary partner mon kind of get hoed a little bit in terms of screen time.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I wanted a little more of Kilowattrel. Like, we spent so much time on it, like, its evolution arc, and then, like, it's kind of just a bus.
And then Tingatink.
Yeah.
We had Tingatink got more than Kilowattrel still.
Yeah, Tinkatink definitely got more than Kilowattrel, because, like, Tinkatink at least, like, was kind of like a plot device, like, to get us involved in the whole noodle shop mess.
But Kilowattrel was just basically transportation.
Yeah, basically.
Transportation and a jobber.
That's the other thing that pisses me off, is that the secondary mon just kind of job for the primary partner, and I'm just like, that's not fair. Like, especially like, you know, I'm gonna just go ahead and get into this right now. Maybe this is just because I'm a fan of this entire line, and I feel like they're just doing this more dirty. Hatchram is so strong. Hatchram should not be taking L's like this. Hatchram is a master vibe checker. Are you kidding me? I was upset.
Wait, at least Hatchram got a time to shine in the
in her evolution episode. But I think that's the problem that I have, right? Like, they shine in their evolution episode, but everything after that, they're just kind of there, and they kind of job.
And to be honest with you, one thing this is more so in the future for what happens, what's currently happening in the anime in Japan. Roy has a shiny Mario, and that's kind of gonna put for Kilowattrel in the back burner.
Even more so. Yeah, I know. It pisses me off that this ugly motherfucker just comes out of nowhere and is stealing the spotlight.
Hey, I'm the spotlight now.
Listen. Lucario's cool. We love Lucario here up in town.
I do love Lucario. Don't get it twisted. It's not Lucario slander. I love Lucario. But let's be real. His shiny is ugly as fuck.
It is.
It's like piss colored.
It's piss colored. It's like nasty mustard. Like, whatever you want to go with. I know it's supposed to be golden, y'all, but that ain't gold.
No.
God.
It's MSN paint gold.
I'm saying. But yeah, it pisses me off, because, like, Kilowattrel was so cool. He had so much personality, but, like, he's a bench warmer now. And I'm sorry to, like, spoil for future stuff, but it's frustrating.
No, I feel you.
Because, like, you know, Roy, out of our entire team, Roy is the real battler here. Like,
yeah, and look at the team comp that he has right now. Just imagine me just bringing out my little white hair.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. If you weren't, like, where you are right now, I think you would have.
Well, let me get my point here. So we have his starter, a fire type. So if things go the way it's been going, it seems like it's going to be the case. It's going to have a standard, which is a fire ghost type. We have an electric light kind of look. We have fighting steel type. That's just there rarely for the vibes.
Basically.
That's no fun. Oh, we don't mess with that. Like, this 3-man squad is pretty strong.
Oh yeah, it's solid, but, like,
also
part of it is definitely getting shafted.
Yes, and also it just hit me the, like, brilliance there. That Skeledirge is part ghost, and it was the ghost trainer who mentored him the most.
Oh yeah, I mean that was definitely intentional.
I realize that now, but I didn't before.
But yeah, moving on. Now we're gonna talk about Liko and more of the plot. Liko's is basically kind of more of the same for Liko. It's overthinking and being overcritical of herself and, like, not being present in the moment, you know? Like, too much hesitation.
Huh. I wouldn't be familiar with that at all.
So like, you know, that was really her big thing. Is just kind of like embracing. I mean, all three of them kind of have like an adaptation problem in like generally speaking, but they tackle it from different angles. Like I said, like Liko just needs to be more present and not in her head. Like she gets in her own way too much. And you know, ironically enough, the person who helps her the most kind of like learn this lesson is Amethio. Yeah.
Which I think far is the perfect choice. Have the investor Liko stats.
Oh yeah.
I believe that 100%.
Oh yeah.
Because a little bit of Grish's backstory that we learned from the game.
Mm-hmm.
He's a former skate filmer, but due to an accident, he could continue at the performance he used to be. So he decided to go into the gym.
Yeah.
Battling industry, you know?
Yeah, no, yeah, Grish's whole story is really interesting.
No, and I gotta say this, like, at work, fucking work, it's a sprained ankle.
Yeah, like, his injury was definitely overhyped. That was definitely not a career ender, and I love that his buddy, his best friend, calls out, is like, no, he could have gone back if he wanted to, but I think he fell in love with Pokemon training.
Yeah, because he is skateboarding in the show.
Yeah, snowboarding.
My bad, brain.
No, yeah, that was a brain part on my end, but also, it was a Citadel that kind of caused him to get that very solvable injury.
And I'm assuming I'm assuming that same Citadel is the Titan that he uses now.
Which it is.
Yeah.
Pretty context, it would make sense,
Yeah.
because
it was the
Citadel and Titan, it's a stone evolution, so...
Yep. Yeah, he could evolve it anytime he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, like, I would love to do Citadel sledding. It looks so fun.
Oh, yeah.
But also, the baby. Those babies.
Yeah.
They do the cute it.
Oh yeah, little land whales.
Big, terrifying walking land whales that will break my bone in my body. Like every bone in my body.
And they fucking waddle. It's so fucking cute.
And you hear that cry.
So fucking cute. Oh my goodness.
Cuteness overload.
But yeah, and speaking of the plot, you know, fucking Amethio basically gets excommunicadoed.
Yep. He gets Prince Zuko'd.
Yeah, dead ass. That's exactly what I thought. Because I was like, even at the beginning of the arc, when I saw this in sub, I was like, no fucking way. They're doing the Zuko thing bar for bar. Literally, he's trapped in a cave with the female protagonist, and they have a bonding moment. What happened in Avatar with Zuko that began him on that journey? When he was in the cave with Katara, they bonded. She almost healed his scar, and then Aang gets got by Azula. I was like, oh my goodness, this is literally Zuko. He really is just Zuko, and he has a edgy fire boy as his main partner. This is too perfect.
And also, he has a paternal figure.
He has evil paternal figure. Instead of his dad, it's his grandpa.
Granddad, Gibeon is I need to get to Lockwood.
Yeah.
I
love that he has the Dr. Claw effect on his voice.
But and the crazy thing about the whole thing that Jay and I have already been told by future episodes ahead, we already know the story behind the reason why Gibeon wants to go to Lockwood.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually making him like a sympathetic villain. But I'm kind of okay with that because he kind of got his muffins.
Yeah, like it doesn't soften him too much to where you feel bad when he gets his ass beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
that's always a sign of a good villain.
It's more so you just
sympathetic.
Yeah, it's more so you just understand his motivations, but he's still a dick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think the true main villain is Spinel.
Oh, Spinel! You want to talk about villains with presence? This is what Pokemon has been missing anime-wise for so fucking long. Shit, in the games, honestly, too. Villains with charisma.
Which, funny thing, I have to point it out.
Yeah, Mercer.
Yeah, which that's the second time that he showed up in like a month.
Yeah, true.
But here's the thing about Spinel. It makes it just me kind of looking at this guy, this guy, he's aura farming.
No, he definitely is aura farming. And he gets like, quadruple points for me me because Umbreon is my favorite evolution, my original favorite evolution before Sylveon showed up. But Umbreon will always have a special place in my heart. And since Umbreon is his guy, I was like, you know what? You automatically get respect from me.
Although he does lose a tiny bit with how he the Umbreon.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like him and that Umbreon have a mutual understanding, though. Like, he wants to further his trainer's goals. So it's not like he's hurting the Umbreon. The Umbreon's like, yeah, do that shit. I want to get stronger, too. Juice me up, master.
It's like...
until Liko... But Liko probably has Liko bias.
Yeah.
But Terrapago, we see more character for Terrapago.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah, baby boy's finally stepping up.
And baby boy is getting pissed.
Yeah,
we get to see we get to see Angie baby.
So mad.
Yep. You just
I love that even though he's Angie, we still don't like skip over the fact that he's basically a purse dog.
Yeah, basically. He is a Persmon. I mean, you don't want to have your like valuable, like one of a kind mythical just out in the open, so it's understandable.
I know, but he also just loves it.
Yeah.
And that moment with the drift blooms.
Oh man.
Where he was just like, wee.
He was like, oh, this is fun, cool. I'm so high up, Mama, look.
Not realizing drift blue death entry.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
they're like, hey,
is that a baby you got there? We love taking babies.
Mm-hmm.
Yoink. I had to take two, one on each side of the bag.
Yeah.
Like, easy.
Oh,
Yoink.
Man. Good shit.
But I gotta say, the Explorers as villains, they are great villains.
They've stepped up. I like them a lot, and like they're probably what make that like really steps this show up to the next level in terms of Pokemon anime for me, because like, you know, Team Rocket will always have a special nostalgic place in my heart, but Team Rocket were fucking jobbers and goofers, and like honestly by the end they weren't even really villains. They were just kind of like comedic side characters.
Well, also in the movie they had like a heroic turn,
and I mean it also helped that, like, you know, like the Explorers like theft target actually makes sense. You know, it's a rare, one-of-a-kind mythical Pokemon, not just a fucking Pikachu.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
I mean, like now see, if the Explorer was trying to steal Cap, that would make sense. Cap is not just a Pikachu, he is the Pikachu. He is him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Pikachu, but it's true.
But
Ash is Pikachu. I don't want to play with you anymore. Cap.
Exactly.
But yeah, you talk about villains, cornbread and seasoning.
Oh, they're a lot of fun. For jobber villains, they are a lot of fun. Coral has a lot of personality. I love that Coral is just so obsessed with poor Glalie. Just keep blowing that boy up.
No, bro is just like, look, her Glalie looks like it's only Pokemon.
Yeah.
Overall, here you saying this is my favorite. Fuck you.
Yep.
And like this girl needs an attitude adjustment.
She really does.
Holy shit.
You want to talk about fucking Charlie XCX # brat energy?
That's horrible. In a good way.
Definitely not. No. But okay, Insidian, her very few words, speaking, very serious, very quiet friend with the Gargonackle.
I dig him, and I dig him, and he has a dope team. He has a Gargonackle and an Aerodactyl. We're just gonna gloss over the fact you have a motherfucking Aerodactyl, bro. He just busted that thing out busted that thing out when they flew away casually. Like, excuse me, sir. You have an Aerodactyl?
I mean, with the name like Obsidian, it makes sense because
Obsidian, you know, Gargonackle, fossils. He likes all the rocks, and yeah, it makes sense. I appreciate the pun and consistency.
Yeah, but still, just
and also seasoning.
That shit is hilarious, and I love that Roy still refers to them as cornbread and seasoning.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My part, like, in terms of the Lord, is this woman.
Also, yeah, she's interesting. She reminds me of what I wanted Lucamine to be, but done correctly.
Like game or show?
Like show Lusamine. Game
Oh.
Lusamine was done fine. Like
That Shiva.
Game Lusamine was a real villain. Show Lusamine like had that potential, but then they fucking pussied out and just made her like sad mom.
No, also goofy anime mom. What the fuck?
She was, which was still good. I like it, but I kind of wanted like evil mommy Lusamine. Like, not gonna lie.
No
evil.
we don't
mommy.
get nice things.
But I do like that the show confirmed the long speculated theory that her husband is Homie that's trapped in the Pokepelago.
Yep, Mon.
Yeah, I was like,
Mon.
I don't remember Homie's name. I was like,
Goofy.
yeah, he's fun. But anyways, like she's great. Like I love that she was the inside man within the academy. Also, this makes me think because of her like kind of back and forth with Penny. Are Penny and the like fucking her friends what the fuck are they called again? The Star All-Star? Like you know what I'm talking. Team Star. There it is.
Yeah.
You think I'm hoping you know I hope that like that I wanted that to be more of a thing like in the show. Hopefully it'll get flushed out.
From what I see, from what we've seen in the future, no.
Yeah, it doesn't look
Because
like it.
I'm assuming it's under the impression that the events of Scarlet and Violet may have happened already, and we're just caught in between.
Yeah.
If you remember in that one episode where they talk about an incident that happened.
Yeah, that's true. And the Scarlet book was just casually in the library. Like if the event of Scarlet and Violet didn't already happen, the Scarlet book wouldn't just be casually in the library.
Yep.
Which also makes me think, does that also mean that the event of the DLC have happened?
Don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it's safe to assume that it was tangentially, according to the anime canon.
Yeah. But overall, I think this season was great. Consistent quality, honestly. So we're just gonna go ahead and move into final thoughts ratings, and I'll just go ahead and say I'm just gonna stick with it and give it the same 9.5. Like
Same here.
Like
9.5 for me too, dude.
Continues to be great. I have those small nitpicks of you know, fucking pulling out our like secondary mon just to be jobbers, but you know, I get it. The partner mon are the ones that really need to shine, but still not cool in my opinion. Like I love all these guys, and I love the fact they have smaller teams. I thought the point of having smaller teams was so that we could get all the mon to shine, but you know, that's just my little soapbox here. But it's whatever. You know, maybe I just got this. Maybe this is just too close to the chest for me. And you know, as a Pokemon trainer myself, I love each and every one of my like main run mon. Like I have backstories for all of them. Like those are my guys. Me and Tony have even come up with like little like friend cannons for our adventures with the like
because our go absolute legends.
Oh yeah, and like like we even have lore for like my fucking Poliwrath Tiana. She was just pissed because we took away her video games until she evolved into a Poliwrath. She didn't get the rock. She didn't get the rocks. She didn't become a happy Politoed. We took away her video games and she got angry. And just there she is. She's a Poliwrath now.
You took away her screen time.
Exactly. No iPad for you.
But like I said, I'm sure it got through the recording, but mine's a 9.5 as well.
Oh yeah, it did.
It's a fight for the season. Holy shit, we're so animated.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and especially like it's like I mean I've already seen it in the sub, but I can't wait to watch it in the dub. The Roy and Liko fight was awesome.
Oh, dude, off the chain.
Oh yeah, indeed, dude. And like that's something interesting that I like about this show in general. It's the fact that because it's the anime, they can get creative.
Yeah,
but because they don't go to the level of like Ash where they're cheating.
Thunder armor.
But they still get creative without cheating.
They like the thing that I love about the Pokemon anime, and that's what I really wanted to incorporate. I wish like if they ever come up with like a legit like full on like fully sponsored Pokemon tabletop RPG, I want the ability to do like these environmental strategies, because that shit is the coolest part of Pokemon battles in the anime, is using the environment in these creative ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tony gave his, so Brian, last but certainly not least.
Honestly, if you go back and you listen to part 1, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I think this one is slightly better, so I'm gonna give it 9.5 as well.
Hey, across the board, let's go. You love to see see it. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed our brief journey back to the Paldea region. We shall return when the next season comes out, which cannot wait for that. This series has been phenomenal. It's a great change of pace. As a 20 plus year Pokemon anime fan, I could not be happier, and I'm Tony Ekman echoes the same sentiment as well. Because we've stuck through it for the long haul, even through the rough years that are otherwise known as best wishes. Fucking god damn it, Black and White, you're my favorite game, but you're the worst anime. But yeah, regardless, next week we will be having something special because as I alluded to earlier, if you skipped through the video and missed out, we will be covering Thunderbolts. Although be prepared, because thanks to Lieutenant Surge, I will be saying Thunderbolts the entire time, because that's just how I hear it in my head everywhere. Thanks to Lieutenant Surge. Hit him with a Thunder Punch. And of course, we're covering another major MCU movie, so we of course have to bring in our good buddy Trash to talk with us as well, because we need all ends of the spectrum here. And just because we disagree on stuff, as you've heard in our Cap 4 conversation, doesn't mean that we can't have a civil discussion. And I like that we kind of are able to have these type of takes. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you are too. And until next time, we'll catch you later. And I hope you catch the next episode, because you should try and catch them all. Peace.